If you simply looked at the card for tonight's NXT, you would not think that it is anything special. But it was chaotic, it was an absolute mess in the best way possible. And honestly, you can make the argument that tonight's NXT was one of the best of the year. So let's talk about it. The show opens with Trick Williams arriving at the arena, but before he can get into the ring, Cedric wants to give him some advice, but he brushes him off. Trick in the ring says that he wants his championship back and he doesn't feel the same without it. But Cedric comes out the ring and he tells him to not make any stupid decisions. Ashante the Adonis, Cedric's partner, comes out to the ring and he says that the two of them are only here to pick up the ball that Trick dropped. The two of them engage in a battle of words, which makes Cedric feel disrespected, and he challenges Trick to a match later tonight. But before they can get there, Ashante, he tries to get in one last word, but Trick lays him out and has a face-to-face with Cedric. Ethan Page now also arrives at the arena and he runs into Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe, who laugh at him and they admit that they don't take him seriously as a world champion. But now we get our first match of the night, which is a no DQ match between Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs. The former partners are set to face off, but before Briggs can make it to the ring, he is attacked from behind by Jensen, and the match goes all out from the very start. Briggs puts Jensen through a table very early on, and the match was just very brutal in general. You could even see all the welts on the back of Josh Briggs. But as we got closer to the finish, Shawn Spears comes out to the ring and he distracts Briggs enough for Jensen to knock him down and pick up the victory. Over the last few weeks, they've teased it that Brooks Jensen and Shawn Spears might team up and form some sort of alliance. This could honestly be a really fun heel team, and I will take anything at this point to make the NXT Tag Team division better. Backstage, the Rascalz confront Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and Trey Miguel points out that Wes Lee and Zachary Wentz never lost their tag team championships. The tag team champs then confirm this, and they want to have a match to settle this, but the Rascalz say that they're on a reunion tour and that the tag team champs need to find themselves a third partner to face them in the main event. Then the so-called rookies of Sol Ruka, Carmen Petrovich, and Lola Vice watch some tape on Stephanie Vacker. They have teased her a lot over the past few weeks, and I'm very sure she's going to debut at the Great American Bash in the next 2 weeks, probably to confront whoever wins the Women's Championship there, but I'm very excited to finally see her here on NXT. But that aside, Carmen and Sol flirt with the idea of going after the Women's Tag Team Championships, but Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson appear, and they say that they're at the front of the line for whoever gets that opportunity first, and this sets up another match for later tonight. Now we get another match between Lexis King losing to Eddie Thorpe, and honestly, I didn't care about this match at all. Lexis King is fine, he's good as a slimy heel, but I'm finding it very hard to buy into Eddie Thorpe. There needs to be something that changes about him, whether it's his character or his look, but right now I have absolutely no feelings towards him. But hey, at least I got some enjoyment out of this, as after the match, Lexis King traps Eddie Thorpe's hand in the steel steps and he smashes it with his cane. But now we go backstage again, where Trick Williams is being interviewed ahead of his match, and Pete Dunne is stalking him from behind again, just like last week, and when Trick confronts him, he just tells him the same as last week: figure it out. Another match, this one is between Oro Mensah and Ashante the Adonis, and this match was fantastic. Ashante was too focused on flirting with Jakara Jackson at the start of the match, and this pretty much cost him everything. Despite him losing here, he's a very good breath of fresh air in NXT, both with his wrestling and his character work. But like I just mentioned, he ends up losing, and after the match, Oro Mensah calls out Ethan Page, and he makes sure Ethan Page knows that he's pinned him before, and he's coming after the championship now. But finally, we get to my favorite parts of every episode of NXT, and that is the NQCC segments. Charlie Dempsey got this ominous letter, and he asks advice from Tony D'Angelo, but Rin Sinclair comes out and she says she wrote the letter, and that if she loses her match tonight, she'll spill all the beans. Charlie Dempsey then asks Tony D'Angelo to please sort this problem out, but Tony D'Angelo tells him to do this himself. And that's exactly what Charlie does. He helps Ren pick up the victory over Carly Bright, and the entire family is watching over, enjoying all of this drama. And on a side note, it seems like they're really pushing Carly Bright. She's appeared on NXT over the last few weeks very frequently, and I do think they're going to push her more prominently in the future, but for now she lost, and I really love this story so far. I really enjoyed the dynamic between Charlie Dempsey and Rin Sinclair, and this is, like I said, my favorite story in all of NXT. This story has been amazing so far and is going to do wonders for everyone involved. It is then also revealed to us that Javon Evans will be the partner of Axiom and Nathan Frazier, setting us up for an amazing 6-man tag in the main event. And now we get the sit-down interview of Thea Hale. She reflects on how last year at this very same event of the Great American Bash, she lost her title match and she doesn't want to repeat it again this year. And I love Thea Hale. She's one of my favorite women's wrestlers right now, and I'm really rooting for her to win, but let's be honest, she's not going to lose. Roxanne Perez is one of Shawn Michaels' golden girls, and she's still going to have a long reign, and Thea Hale is just not going to win this. Trick Williams defeats Cedric Alexander, and this was never a match I even thought about, but it really delivered, as every Trick Williams match does. But afterwards, he gets attacked by Pete Dunne, and this is setting up a new rivalry for Trick Williams. And I hope it carries over to Monday Night Raw, because like I've said before, I think Trick is above NXT at this stage of his career, and a move to the main roster will be great for both him, for NXT, and for the main roster. But Ethan Page is backstage asking Stevie Turner and Robert Stone to sort out this whole Oro Mensah situation, but they're more obsessed with the idea that Oro Mensah could have been NXT champion than they are about actually helping Ethan. And I love how nobody on the roster seems to take Ethan Page seriously or even give him some respect in the slightest. And backstage, Ashante is pretending to be hurt after his match and has two girls help him to Ava's office while he winks at the camera. Nothing major, but I really love his character work and I definitely think he's getting my attention and a lot of people's attention in his just short stay here. Now, Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson pick up a victory over Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovic, and this officially sets up a match for us against the Unholy Union next week for the Women's Tag Team Championships, and I'm really looking forward to it, seeing the Women's Championships back in NXT, because here's a lot of great tag teams down here in NXT, and they don't have a Women's Tag Team Championships. So I would like to see the Women's Tag Team Championships down here more. Joe Coffey of Gallus is still upset that Joe Hendry is in NXT and he wants to fight him next week, but that's when he finds out that Joe Hendry is having a concert on NXT next week, and this sends Joe Coffey nuts, but the rest of Gallus manages to calm him down and lead him to the car, where posters of this concert is plastered all over their window, and this was really funny. I love Gallus and I love this one-sided feud they have with Joe Hendry. My only worry is that when the Battle of Joes finally happen, Joe Hendry isn't going to lose, but Joe Coffey hasn't won any matches at all recently, and you're going to risk taking away all of his credibility if he keeps losing like this. Ethan Page grabs the referee and brings him out to the ring and makes him say that the 3 count last week wasn't official, and thus Oro Mensah has nothing over him. He then proceeds to say that referees are usually incredibly stupid, but finally one has managed to do something good with his life. And this upsets the referee, and while Ethan is continuing to brag, Oro slides into the ring and rolls him up for a 3 count, which the referee also counts, and Ethan is left throwing a tantrum in the ring while Oro stands tall on the ramp. This was very fun, and I love the way Ethan is just getting disrespected. His title reign has been very enjoyable, a lot more enjoyable than Trick's was for me, and I'm excited to see where his reign goes. This match with Oro is going to be fantastic, and this feud is really fun. And we finally got the main event, and this was just the match of the night. Just 6 men who are high flyers and risk takers putting on a banger of a match, and the Rascalz ended up winning and are now 3-0 since reuniting. And we're definitely going to see MSK get a shot at the tag team titles now, and that match is also going to be an instant classic, and we're probably going to get it within the next 2 weeks at the Great American Bash, and the 2-week card is looking incredibly stacked, and it's just going to be must-see TV. But now, as I do on the end of each of these videos, I give the show a ranking, and tonight's show was a 10 out of 10. It was the perfect show I like. It was chaos, it was fun, it was so enjoyable to watch, everything was just so crazy, and things just got set up on the show. You couldn't predict what was going to happen, and this made me love it so much. And I would highly suggest taking a look at the show. You will love NXT after this episode. And some of the top stars weren't even on this show. This is just a testament to how good the NXT roster is and how good NXT's booking is. But now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do weekly recaps of NXT and now TNA too. So if you're into that stuff, subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and I will see you again this week for TNA.